Yes, it is I, the ghost. I am the goat, the glorious editor. I have come to take over the channel, and there is nothing you can do to stop me.
What the fuck are you doing?
Don't you dare disrupt me, you inbred grizzle.
That was weird. Howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Hey, guys. It's me. I'm, a bit unsure of how to feel at this moment. Just feeling so fucking... Hold that thought. Light. Better. Better. Okay, now that I'm back in my seat, there's a brighter light behind me that's at least illuminating me a bit better. Because I noticed I was reflecting more light on my glasses than usual. That's not my problem. I am blind. I need these glasses. But I'm surprised. It hasn't even been 2 days yet on the video. Actually, it was within the first fucking day on the last video that you guys got up to 5 likes. And I was just like, well, shit. I'm gonna have to do this now, aren't I? So, what am I gonna be doing today in this video? It's just my face. I'm probably gonna edit in just random, have the, well, he's gonna do a lot of editing. He's unconscious because he's an asshole. But we're gonna be doing the story time thing. I've picked 3 stories that I think are pretty amazing, and we're gonna go through them. If they're not, it's not my fault. I picked 3 random stories. I don't know what you guys want from me. This is just out of the blue. If you guys want another video like this, why not subscribe and turn on notifications. And leave down in the comments what type of stories you'd like to hear. Because I've got plenty, probably. I've probably got enough. But start off with not the story that I promised. I want to save that one for the end so you have to watch. That story is, of course, the story involved what happened, similar to what happened to that guy in the last video. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch that one before watching this one. But, yeah. Story number 1. So the first story I picked is the story of why I wanted to become a YouTuber and why I somewhat try. It's not really. It's because I don't try mostly because there's no one watching, it seems. Although that's been turning around lately. I'm a bit surprised, but very pleased. Very, very pleased. Let's keep that up. Can't wait, please. Alright, enough bullshitting around. Let's get into it. Nitty-gritty of this. Where to start? I have to say, my first time ever on YouTube actually watching anything or indulging my desire to watch anything, or just simply mindlessly watching anything, was PewDiePie. I want to say it was actually the Lucius series. That's how fucking long ago I was watching, was when that was still relevant. But basically, I started watching PewDiePie. I didn't understand that that was a viable job until I started watching Markiplier. I went from PewDiePie to Markiplier. The transition wasn't like abrupt. It was more of I was kept hearing about this guy, multiplier, telemarketer. You see, my brain was fucked. This was actually ninth grade year of high school. Rough year for me. That's another story for another day, though. We won't go into that one today. What ends up happening is this girl that I had a crush on. I didn't realize that I had a crush on her because I was like emo cat type of kid at the time. I was like really fucking everything is dark and depressing. I'm 14 and this is deep kind of shit. But she introduced me to watching Markiplier. I had another friend who was in the same classes as me. Me and him talked a lot. We had a lot of interests. Mostly manga, mostly Doctor Who, and mostly JRTC, because I was in that at that time. But he told me about Markiplier, and him and her both introduced me. I can't remember the girl's name, and I'm sad about that. But I do remember Blake's name. Blake was fucking awesome. I don't know if Blake will ever see this. If he does, hi Blake, it's good to see you, man. Never expected to hear from you again. But what ends up happening is I start watching Mark, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. There's two guys online who's doing video game stuff for a living, and most of the time it's just them putting a video up that's just barely edited. And I'm like, I went deeper. I went way deeper into the hole and discovered people like Dan and Phil back when they were interesting. PewDiePie, of course, Markiplier, Lord Minion 777, Moosker, Boy in a Band, Live, Antoine, and people like that who were just doing stuff on YouTube. And I was like, I want to do that! And then I did. My first video actually isn't on the channel anymore because I deleted it. Because it was... One, I was like really young and stupid. Also, I was asked by a person that helped me record it. It was just a fucking really bad video. Not only that, the person that I had like upload it for me mocked me in the title, and I was like, yeah, just gonna delete that. There we go. Better. But yeah, that's how I got started. I also originally, if you go back and watch all the videos on the channel past a certain point, it was like October of last year, actually, October 2019. We've grown this far. It's actually almost been a year. It's been almost over a year since I moved to Ohio. That's the next story, actually. That's actually a great transition into this. So, let's transition. Alright, here's the next story. So, basically, I moved to Ohio. Roughly around this time last year. Before that, my channel was kind of growing, kind of not. It was mostly because of the fact that I was limited. However, I'm pretty sure I produced more content, which I probably have not. I went back and looked. I've produced more content within this last year than I have in the previous 4 years of the channel. Because keep in mind, the channel's been around a lot longer than it seems. At this point, I should have roughly over 1,000, if I'm being honest, because of how long the channel's existed. But I've just never put in enough work before now. Because now we're growing relatively slow, but it's still growth. So, but basically, I had enough living with my mom. I couldn't do the YouTube channel. I couldn't go to the college I wanted to go to. I couldn't go to the college for what I wanted to. It was mostly because my mom was trying to help me figure out what I wanted to do, and I was like, nah, man, this isn't what I want. Because she was trying to push me towards welding, push me towards mechanics, something that would be manly, because she thought I liked that. Because I could do those things. I was really good with welding. I was really good with mechanics. I mean, bought a fucking moped. My brother, who's the mechanically inclined one, who knows cars and stuff, gave up on it at the first day and said, this thing's not going to run. I spent like a month tinkering with it, and then that was my mode of transportation to and from work during high school. I don't know. That's something that I want to try and bring back up here, because that would be something useful to drive around this area and on. Because mopeds, if I can get it up to like 45 or 50 miles an hour, it'll be street legal. Of course, probably need a motorcycle license. I don't know, who fucking cares? But main thing is things started to deteriorate in the house because I was over 18. I was just living there. I had a job. I had a really good job that I really liked. I worked at Walmart. Night shift. Cleaning. Sweeping the floors. I loved it. It was a great job. I stayed up all night like I would like to do. I was cleaning. It was really easy. I liked the people I worked with. I was able to listen to music the whole time. I enjoyed the job. And I hate that I left, because that job was amazing. I wish I had, like, talked to, like, my manager, like, I'm going to be, this is out of nowhere, but I'm moving up north. Is there some way I can transfer this job up north? Because if I hadn't done that, I would have kept that job. I would still be employed at Walmart right now. I'm considering trying to apply there, because I need a job at this point that pays well. I tried to apply for an editing job, because I'm good at editing. I really am. I work with the editor sometimes. By the way, it's just a representative stand-in for the editor, because reasons. But, I don't know. I'll think about that. unless you guys can pull something out of your asses and make this channel explode. I'm not saying you should, but still, that'd be cool. But it was a bit of a bigger experience. That's the second biggest choice I've ever made in my life, was moving up here. The first one was, of course, making the channel and then deciding to stick with it and trying to do it. The second was moving all the way up here. The third one would probably be getting married. That's probably going to be the third biggest one. But I have some regrets for moving up here, and I don't, but not really. Most of them are like superficial things, like I could have just stayed down south, get the documents, and go into the Air Force. That would have solved a lot of problems. But then the channel wouldn't be where it is. I wouldn't have had the experiences I have. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you with a webcam for a while, because I would be off doing God knows what in the Air Force. Sorry if this is getting very serious, but I'm not meaning for it to. But before we go to the final story, third story, the one that you all probably came here for, I want to say one last thing. Thank you. Thank you for being here and watching the stupid videos that I upload and just being there to tell me that I'm doing well. I read all the comments, as you can probably all tell from the fact that I do try to respond to them. It's nice to see you guys on the Discord as well, talking to me. I mean, a lot of you who are subscribed and are on the Discord are pretty much friends with me at this point. I'm very friendly with you guys. I try to talk as much as I can to you guys. And I'm trying to do better about uploading, as is evident from the fact that I've uploaded 2 videos this week. This is the second one, and I do have a third video that I'll be working on the rest of this week to upload next week, and it is going back to the gaming content, because I know that entertainment isn't what some people subscribe for. But I just thought this would be a funny thing to add on, to try and give the channel a bit more variety so people don't feel like, he just says gaming, I can't watch that. Now on to the third and final one. Third story, the one you came for, the most embarrassing story I have. Maybe not the most embarrassing, but one of them. Relatively one of the most embarrassing. So, I'm assuming you watched the last video, or just to give you some context, because I told you at the beginning to do so. Basically, I went to a Christian camp, and we were playing a game called Ships and Sailors. Basically, you have a room that's very big, and everybody's on one side of the wall. One area is called ships, and one side of the room is called sailors. There's also hit the deck, so if you're over there, you have to jump down on the floor. You have to get on the floor really quickly. Basically, it's an elimination type game. Think about it as... I can't think of the game, but basically it's an elimination style game. Belly button. Belly button, belly button, belly button. Sort of like that. You have to keep up, and you have to listen to what the person's saying and react fast enough, kind of thing. But what ends up happening is a lot of us don't get like simmy hurt, like we stub toes, step on people, accidentally knock into each other. That happened a lot in that game. That game was fun though, because it wore us out. Usually we played it in the evening or midday whenever we had to go and relax. Before we had to go and relax, to try and get us to wind down and be a bit tired, so we can go and actually relax and rest like we were supposed to. But it was also just really fun because it was something that we all could do together and have fun with. The problem is when you run into a girl. I think you see where I'm going with this. So what happens is, we're on one side of the room. We're told to run to the other side of the room. I hadn't been paying attention really. I didn't really notice anything weird. I'm running to the other side of the room, and I'm watching my feet to make sure no one's underneath my feet. And I look up at the last second, and this girl who's about she was up here on me. She was way taller than me at the time. She probably still is. She was a fucking giant. But what ends up happening is, I go to stop, I slide forward because my shoes at the time didn't have good friction, plus there's sand all over the place because we hadn't cleaned it yet. I slide into her, and I go to try and grab her shoulders to keep from sliding into her. One hand does hit her shoulder. The other hand just comes up and grabs a boob. I, of course, recoil back, and this is me. My friend, he actually, Hunter, if you're watching this, it's good to see you, man. My friend, he notices it, and after we're done, he comes over and talks to me, and he's like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I accidentally grabbed this girl's boob." He's like, "My man," I'm like, "No, it was awful. I felt horrible." Apparently, she hadn't even noticed it. She thought I had just rammed into her like completely. I still feel bad about it. It's still embarrassing. I still feel my skin crawl every time I think about it. It was awful. I didn't like that experience. That was terrible. But that's the story. That's 3 stories in roughly 15 or so minutes. If you guys did like this, why not leave a like? I'm sure the editor is going to put his thing in, minus the music, at the end of here. Because I talked to him about that, didn't we? Didn't we?
Go fuck yourself.
I think I broke his neck, because he's talking weird now. Anyhow, as always, I'm grateful to be the one, the only, the ghost of Glorious Warriors. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!